Hi, my name is Ann-Elise, and this is for my Girl Scout Gold Award project. I aim to spread awareness for local park ducks, and the reason I decided to make this about my project is because growing up, that was one of my favorite things to do. My friends and I would go to the park for fun and feed them, but I did not realize the impact I had by just feeding them a loaf of bread every couple weeks. By the end of my sixth grade year at elementary school, the duck population was so extreme. When I would ride my bike to school, there would be ducks lined up on the side of the road, blocking traffic and disturbing peace. There were ducks in people's yards and poop everywhere. The park looked horrible, and many ducks did not have shelter to stay in due to the overpopulation. No matter how much I fed them and how overpopulation occurred, ducks do help us. They are very important to our diversity. They keep our wetland environments balanced by controlling the pest population and some invasive populations like zebra mussels. They increase biodiversity by being a part of the ecosystem. They move seeds from place to place through their fecal matter. Ducks can also clean out bad algae by consuming it, which keeps the pond clean and improves the aquatic ecosystem. These are two wetlands. One is unhealthy and one's unhealthy. When you compare them, you can see that on the healthy side, there are clean pond waters and great biodiversity, but on the left, which is the unhealthy one, you can see that there is brown and green algae and there are mucky brown waters. Why you should care. So we should care about this because having an excessive amount of ducks in one environment can destroy the ecosystem. The woodlands did not originally have any ducks. They all migrated here from Mexico. They decided to stay because people had kept feeding them, and they wanted to stay with what was ever easiest. The woodlands does not have the carrying capacity for hundreds of them in one park, which leads to the downfall of an ecosystem. Why you should not feed the ducks. So one of the reasons why you should not feed ducks is overpopulation, which is the population that can expand over the carrying capacity. This is where there's not enough land and resources for the amount of ducks that live in an area. This can lead to ducks becoming stressed because of increased competition through mating and hunting for food. And also, while the duck population will increase from the food that we feed them, ducks will suffer from malnutrition and can die. Malnutrition can also cause disease outbreaks. These can be passed on through animals, like dogs and cats, or even being passed on to humans. Ducks will wander in places they should not be for food and nest in areas like roads and neighborhoods. So on the left side, you can see that there are two mates trying to fight for a female, and in the middle bottom, that's one of the diseases that can spread very quickly through the birds, is the bird flu. On the top middle, there are ducks blocking road traffic, and on the right, there are ducks in people's yards. So another reason why we should not feed the ducks is habitat and environment degradation and pollution. So when there's an excessive amount of ducks, there's more poop, which goes into the water and makes the water dark green and smelly. Also, the increased number of ducks means more duck poop, which increases excessive nutrients and is unpleasant for the experience for pond visitors. Also, excess food left behind can lead to pests entering the area, like raccoons and rats and mice. Food left behind can rot, which can create waste and can pollute the area and water. Excessive ducks can also create erosion to the pond bank by coming in and out of the waters, and overgrazing. So on the left, there is the excessive nutrients being put into water, which is why there's an excessive amount of algae on top. And then on the bottom left, there is erosion caused by the ducks walking in and out of the pond banks. And then on the right, there is duck poop just in the middle of the park. That's what happens when there's so many. So what also can lead to this is human reliance. So when the birds migrated here, they came from Mexico and they decided to stay because people kept feeding them. When you feed them, the ducks can become more aggressive and lose their awareness of humans, and this is why they walk into roads and go into people's homes and walk on the sidewalks. They're just looking for food. Ducks can also start walking into neighborhoods and suburban areas. So their natural diet is aquatic vegetation, insects, and mollusks, and what they're being fed is bread, crackers, and chips, and this is what leads to malnutrition in the animals, and that's why they can die. A lot of them usually suffer from metallic bone disease, and this is why a lot of them cannot fly because of the malnutrition. What you can do to stop this: so do not purposely feed ducks at any type of food at any park. Do not leave food out at parks or picnic tables. Pick up trash or plastic so they do not mistake it for food, and leave wildlife alone. Thank you so much for listening to my Golden Word project.